live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamieegenti Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Here, welcome to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie, and welcome. It's Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Well, welcome, everyone. It's been one hectic day. As you can see, tomorrow is my mom's birthday, so shout out to my mom out there. Anyways, I had a guest come on today. I myself had to push it back to 2 weeks from now. So hopefully in 2 weeks, Alex Demidchek, he's a former Missouri quarterback. He has a book out called The Cell. And I'm yet to read it, but I listened to one of his videos this morning about turning your job into a dream. And so he'll be on not next week, but 2 weeks from now. And we'll just dive into some questions, and hopefully we can have y'all get to know him a little bit. Like I didn't know him till I saw one of his videos, and then I saw that he was a backup quarterback from Missouri back in 2013, 2014, years ago. So yeah, so he'll be on the show in 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. But nonetheless, guys. Today's Rangers Day. Let's give a clap to the Rangers, please. They are World Series. They're going to the World Series. They may be playing the Diamondbacks or the Phillies. I prefer the Phillies because the Phillies have a chip on their shoulder of losing the World Series last year to the Astros and all that stuff. So, but they play Game 7 tonight. D-backs and Phillies. They play Game 7 tonight. So we'll see what happens. One of the digs I got from the Rangers is that I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I didn't expect this rebuild to happen so quickly and so efficiently. You know, we talk about organizations not being aggressive, being very passive. Chris Young was like, no, we're going to go after this player. We're going to go after Adoli. We're going after Chapman. We're going to go after Jordan Montgomery. We're going after this guy. It's aggression, and you know and he put his money on the line. Now, but we have to understand that there's no rebuild when it comes down to the Rangers. That is totally over now. Now we're here. Now we can honestly say we're in this running for the long term. So. You put money down for Corey Seager, you put money down for Marcus Semien, and you're blessed with results. Heck, he even got Adolis Garcia pumped up, and he knocked down 2 home runs in the last 2 games. Actually, 3 home runs in three games. And so, with that being said, this team is motivated. This team is legit, and I believe this team will get it done. No matter who they face, I think they'll get it done. But it comes with the territory because I think that both Phillies and the D-backs, are a very scrappy team. They don't have a lot of big names, but they're very scrappy in every sense. The Phillies, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, those guys are coming. And my only key in this series, if we do face the Phillies, is that you got to watch out for their pitching. I believe their starting pitching and their bullpen strong. Compliment that was a good defense behind the pitching. You know, Bryce Harper took a chance at playing first base. You got Trey Turner, who's the best shortstop in baseball, and then you got a bunch of other guys. But those other guys are good enough to give the Rangers a run for their money. But I do think that the Rangers are built off motivation. Now, let me go back to the series real quick before I explain that. So, the Astros, right? I believe the Astros are what numbers ahead of the Rangers, just because of them being in this postseason a lot of times more than not. And many of Astros fans shouldn't be ashamed of themselves. It just wasn't their year. You talk about the struggles at home, and then having to go on the road and not getting beating Texas 3 times. So, to me, the Astros have nothing to worry about. You have a great manager, Dusty Baker. You have great hitting in Tuve, Jose Alvarez, Pedro Alvarez, I think. Oh, Jose Abreu, Pedro Alvarez, Kyle Tucker. You got a bunch of great guys on your roster. It's just built because it just wasn't their year, and they're light years ahead of us. We got to build what Houston is building before we declare ourselves the best in Texas. We got to build. Houston is the best. Houston's the best baseball team in Texas. I can't say that for the Rangers. Not yet, at least. You have to give me at least 3 or 4 of consistently making the postseason. And maybe you add a World Series or 2, maybe 2 World Series. Then you declare yourselves the best in this area, in the Metroplex. But it's not even close. And most Rangers fans won't agree with me, but I think that Houston's going to be good. They're going to be fine for the long run. It's just they ran into a team that was hot, and that was highly motivated by their manager and by the front office. Now, I don't know if the front office had a time limit of when this rebuild is going to end. I don't think Chris Young set that time limit to end. Because normally when you're in a rebuilding stage, you're going to set a time that's going to end. The Rangers said, nah, it ends now. I'm going to make a bunch of moves. I want to make sacrifices. I'm going to open the pocketbook for Marcus Semien and Corey Seager to dominate. Okay? And have the weakest bullpen in the league. And still rely on my hitters. Rely on the Doleys. Rely on Seager. Rely on Semien. Not even Semien. Josh Young. Jordan Montgomery. Those guys. Like we're almost there. And I agree with Eric Nagdell when he said this last night. Is Chris Young does not win some type of Executive of the Year award this year, I will go further down the line and say someone needs to be drug tested. Somebody needs to be drug tested. It was in baseball to say what in the world Aubrey who is voting this nonsense. You're not. Remember, we got younger voters in this game, guys. Younger than like my age, that are voting on this crap on awards that make sense. Like if you have the best hitting well, not even the best hitting of it. You won 90 games in the regular season. You lost 100 last year. You were an afterthought last year. We were talking about the Cowboys and the Mavericks and the Stars. Now we're talking about the Rangers as being that best team in the DFW area. We can't say that for the Mavericks. We definitely can't say that for the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys haven't done anything, and the Mavericks are going to continue to tank under Jason Kidd. And when the Mavericks made those offseason moves, yes, they're copying the playbook off of Chris Young, but at the same time, your coach You got to go after a coach who can relate to these players. Jason Kidd cannot. Even though he played in the NBA, he cannot. He doesn't know Luka's game. Heck, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what type of roster he has. That's how the Mavericks are failing right now. The Rangers know who they have on their ball club. The Stars as well. I can even say the Dallas Wings, and the Dallas Wings are not getting love from this area because they came in one possession away of going to the WNBA Finals and upsetting the best team in WNBA history. Yes, that's the Aces. But nonetheless, let's not forget the WNBA, the Dallas Wings. We came two possessions away of getting to the finals. We would have beaten the Liberty. We would have beaten the Liberty. You don't need, like I said, I'm going to talk about the WNBA stuff in a second. But anyways, don't forget about the WNBA. Don't forget about the Dallas Wings, guys. But now, let's hear from Marcus Semien. Please.
Marcus Semien, this team lost 94 games last season. Now you're headed to the World Series. What has it been like to be a part of this turnaround?
Everybody worked so hard for this moment. I think, last year was tough. We did some things okay. We didn't do anything really well. This year, our bats stepped up. The depth in the pitching staff's been great. And then the bullpen got better and better each month as we went on. So now we're a complete team, and we're extremely confident going into the World Series.
What has this last month taught you guys about each other and about yourselves as a whole?
We played some good baseball on the road. I think you look at Tampa, Baltimore, and here, we did great on the road. Now it's time to play better at home. We got home field advantage now. Fans have been waiting for this moment for, 12 years? I can't wait to be a part of it.
Houston has been this team to beat in this division, in the American League for that matter. For you guys to clinch this here in their park, what does that mean?
We're going to have to be good here. This team is deep. They've been good for a long time. We need to play our best baseball in this building. We did that today and yesterday.
What can you say about Adolis Garcia?
He's an animal. He's got power to all fields. He's a great defender, great arm, great base runner, 5-tool player. Works extremely hard. And he's our leader. People don't talk about him as a leader. He's a leader, especially for the Latin guys. And for all of our players to see what he did in the biggest moment with all the fans yelling at him, it's pretty special.
Marcus, congratulations.
Marcus, what does it say about it?
Marcus Semien needs to come through in the World Series. You can't. We were lucky enough. We had Josh Young and Corey Seager come through. And Adolis Garcia, I can't forget about him. And so, his bat is needed in this World Series. And I'm talking about Marcus Semien. I don't know the numbers in my top of my head, but I know that he struggled. But maybe you don't need a Marcus Semien in this series. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I say you do if you're going against the Phillies. I say you don't if you go against the D-backs. But then again, anything's possible. But let's hear from Bruce Bochy. Now, Bruce was seconds away from staying retired. What would Chris Young done? What was your next manager in line to get this job? Because I said Tony Beasley should get this law. He's a third base coach last year. He didn't have enough time. But Bruce Bochy, 3-time champ, was the San Francisco Giants. He's been in this stage before. Let's hear from him right now.
Bruce Bochy, this time last year you were sitting on your couch watching some playoff baseball. Now you're the champions of the American League. How does that feel?
It's unreal. I mean, I'm pinching myself. It's hard to believe that this is really happening. I mean, 3 years out. I was sitting on that couch for 3 years and got the call from CY. Couldn't be more grateful to think I'm here in the World Series. There's no words.
We've talked all season about the resiliency of this team. What have they shown you, especially over the last month?
Well, and I just said it to them. I mean, to go in Tampa against a team that won 99 games, go in there, win there, go into Baltimore, they won over 100 games, and then come here and have to win 4 games here against an unbelievable ball club. It just shows you how tough they are. They just keep getting up, and it's as tough a club as I've had.
Adolis Garcia, that's all I'm going to say. I just want you to respond.
He just keeps amazing, you know. He can carry a ball club. We all know that, but it's the emotion he plays with that fires everybody up.
Coach, congratulations. Enjoy.
So, I disagree with the hiring back then. So I was wrong. I'm sorry that I disagree with hiring an older coach that has experience, that's won 3 titles. I'm sorry, but you know, Bruce Bochy is the GOAT. He's the GOAT of the MLB. But let's hear from Adolis Garcia. Now, Adolis, I wasn't too big of him. I thought he was overrated. But he proved me wrong. This man can really play baseball. Let's hear from him. Let's play the first clip from Adolis Garcia, please.
Adolis Garcia, American League champions. You are the ALCS MVP. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Hey, me siento bien. I'm so proud of this team, this family. I'm glad to be here and be part of this.
You always said that this is your family. This is a part of your family. Your family rallied behind you when things went tough. You got booed in this ballpark loudly, but you responded. What was it inside of you that caused you to respond the way that you did?
That's what I said during. They was booing me. All my teammates, they say, hey, we got you back, and we're going to win this, and we got this tomorrow again. That's what we did.
And you did. Congratulations, Dolly.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's what they always do with that's what they always do with players. You let players get involved. That's what they always do. But anyways, they dropped the champagne. That's what happens when you sell when you prove Dallas wrong. You get Dallas and beer like that. But man, let's play another clip from Adolis, please.
Grounded to second. 2 years removed from losing 100. The Rangers have won the pennant. And they were playing the World Series for the first time since 2011. Their first real chance to make a new World Series memory after the heartbreak of that 2011 season. And plenty of heartbreak along this path that they've been able to overcome, that they've responded to. And they're the champions of the American League, toppling the Houston Astros.
It's a gritty bunch, and that gritty bunch is one step closer to achieving the ultimate dream in spring training.
All right, so anyways, there you go. That's your champs right there of the AL. I wrote this team off in August when they lost first place. And then you go to Seattle, you lose 3 out of 4 in Seattle. Then you go to Tampa, play 3 games there. Well, actually 2 games because you won the first 2. Then you go to Baltimore, you swept Baltimore. Then you go, then Houston. And now the World Series. So this has been a ride for the ages. And to figure out Baltimore and Atlanta, Baltimore Orioles and Atlanta Braves won 100 games this season. They're nowhere to be found. So it doesn't matter when you win, what you win in the regular season. It matters. It is built on motivation. Momentum. And I believe the Rangers, when they went to Tampa, they had momentum to win. They had a chance, and they took that chance. They took every opportunity to win those games. And then Baltimore, and then Houston, and now you're in the World Series. I'm interested to see who you face tonight. But now let's switch gears to college football. Not tonight, Friday night, sorry. Tonight is Game 7, then Friday, whoever faces the Rangers will play Friday night. And here. So, I'm interested to see that. Now let's get to some college football talk. I want to talk about North Texas real quick. So North Texas played against Tulane. You know, it's been a while. It's been a long time since they played in New Orleans. This team, again, when are we going to stop it? When are we going to say this team is not good anymore? It's just about it's a season by season basis, and it showed on Saturday. It showed that this team missed a lot of opportunities in the first half. Questionable play calling, communication, offense and defense. When someone's going in motion, someone could have communicated and said, "Hey, someone's going in motion. Go defend this guy." That's all you had to do. Not capitalizing on turnovers. Tulane literally almost gave you the game. 2 turnovers in the first half, and then you couldn't capitalize that with points. Then you went for it on 4th down twice, and you missed it. And I believe the whole game you went 1 for 3. Well, actually, I'll take that. Yeah, 1 for 5. I'm sorry, on 4th down. And then you had a 3rd and 12 play. Under 3 minutes left in the game. This is the game, not the first half. The game. And you gave a 19-yard touchdown. I can't trust this defense. This defense has got to be the worst defense I ever seen in my entire life. And I've been watching football for a long time. This is from high school on. I can't deal with this defense anymore. I just can't. What value do you have? You gave up 245 yards rushing total. You gave 100 and I have a stat right here. 121 yards to one running back. Not only that, the quarterback even has 70 yards on 15 carries, and he scored a touchdown. This defense sucks. It sucks. Stop saying that we're good. I'm pretty sure I'll pull up a press conference from them during the week. Perhaps tomorrow. And say how good of a defense they are. That's all PR bullshit. Somebody, like I said before, somebody's writing a script for you before you talk to these reporters. Somebody's saying to you, "Hey, don't forget to say this today. Don't forget to add this in." So I guarantee you someone's saying that, because you won't be saying this crap. Oh, yeah, we're a good defense. We're trying to improve. We're 7 games into the season. What are you? Improvements have already been made. But then again, you were a 21 underdog. You literally almost won the game. Literally. The reason why I'm mad is because we didn't finish it. And I was mad because on 4th and 1, I'm throwing the pass before in the fourth quarter. Right? Was under a minute left. I'm throwing a pass. Tulane in the second half was not stopping the run. They were not stopping the run. In the second half, I believe you had over 80 yards rushing. I could be right. Well, wait. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. 83 yards total in the entire game. They weren't stopping the run. You just needed a stat. Chandler Rogers ran for 34 yards. You just needed a yard. Chandler Rogers can run. We got 3 quality running backs in the backfield on 4th and 1, and you throw a pass, or even 4th and 2. They weren't stopping the run in the second half. That's the thing. That's why I'm questioning the play calling, because who is calling a pass on 4th and 1, 4th and 2? I'm sorry. I mean, I can understand if their safeties were playing close in, I would call a run, yes. But they weren't even playing close in. They weren't even playing close in. Well, I'm sorry, no. If they're playing out, then I'll call a run. If they're playing outside, I'll call a run. If they're playing close in, then I wouldn't run the ball. But nonetheless, you have 3 quality running backs that can get the first down. And then your quarterback was sacked, but you come back was an 18-yard pass play. Minus a sack. They played well enough to win. Not on defense. Offensively. We got a great offense. I can say that. I can say we got a great offense. But again, you got to stop making these questionable play callers, Eric Morris. That's why I don't trust your coaching at all. Because coaching shit like this means that we lose another game. That means in every other game moving forward, we're not favored in that game. And that means something. I saw something yesterday. The other opponents' home records. I'm sorry, not the home records, but their home attendance. They're outnumbering us by at least 30,000. I say that because we got 2 crucial games at home. Actually, 2.5, because you just got to drive 40 minutes to SMU on November the 10th. And that is a ESPN2 game. I don't know why that is national televised, but it is. Maybe for SMU side. But nonetheless, all these games are going to be on TV. Except this one's going to be on ESPN+. So, with that being said, we don't have a chance at these other games, guys. Our season is done. And if we go 3-9, what will happen? Eric Morris will still keep his job. You might get rid of some guys. Some guys will transfer, and some guys may quit the team. Those are the 4 things may happen when in the next 6. The next 6 games. No, not 6 games. 5 games. This was an opportunity. This was an opportunity. I can honestly say I don't see a win. I don't see a win in the next 5 games. I could be wrong. Maybe you go out and beat UTSA. Or maybe you go out and beat UAB. That's 5 wins. It still doesn't get you a bowl win. You got to get 6 to get to the bowl win. You gave them 6. You gave them a bowl victory. not a bowl victory. You gave them a victory to so that they don't have to work hard enough to get that 6-1. Which in this case, they didn't have to work that hard. It's just that we got hot in the second half, and we couldn't finish it. We couldn't call a play calling. You had a timeout. Use your timeout to call a different play calling. Use it. You could have ran a day Idaway or Johnson, for that matter. Run the freaking ball or the quarterback. Do some read options on 4th and 2. I mean, granted, I like the play calling. Not the play calling. I like the call on fourth down, but I don't like questionable play calling. Take the chance. Take the chance. You had it. The game was there. The game was right there for y'all. And I'm pretty sure at season's end, you're going to look at this game, not the rest of them. You're going to look at this game and say, we had a chance. I'm pretty sure those players in the locker room will say that. Will tell themselves that. They won't say it to the media because the media will get on them. But they will say that this game against Tulane was the opportunity for us to get a victory. I have no faith that this season's over. It's over. At 3-4, it's over. I hate to say it, but it's over. It's over. This team is garbage. Like on defense, garbage. I don't want y'all to. We can't. The problem is we can't get to the quarterback. We can't get to the quarterback. We have 20 sacks. 20 sacks. In 7 games, 20 sacks. And a bunch of yards that we given up on. But nonetheless, we'll talk about the game next week against Memphis, which that is another 20-point favorite for Memphis. And I believe that is homecoming. I believe that is. But what a way to get embarrassed on homecoming. If that is a homecoming weekend. Oh, it is homecoming weekend. Never mind. It is homecoming weekend against Memphis. So if I'm North Texas, if I'm an alumni, I'll go watch basketball. Even though it is the preseason in basketball. There is a game on Sunday, the 29th. I'll go. I'd rather spend money on that versus watching this crap on the field. That's just me. I can't speak for them. I don't know what they're going to do. But if I was in their shoes and I want to go back to North Texas and watch a game, I'll wait till Sunday to watch basketball. I know what they're going to get me. And the vision is bright. But nonetheless, Texas football, the Longhorns against Houston, y'all got exposed, man. Y'all got exposed. Now, you're going to give Houston, a sorry-ass team, you're going to give them 24 points and all of this confidence. If it wasn't for that missed first down call, I believe Texas would have lost this game. Texas would have lost this game. The officials bailed them out. The officials bailed them out by not giving Houston the first down on 3rd and 1. He literally had the first down. And I hope those officials are getting reprimanded today. Actually yesterday, but that was a first down on Houston's part. You literally gave them the game, Texas fans, Texas players. But now, what does that say against the BYU and Kansas State? What does that say about that? Because BYU, even though they got smoked by TCU, they can easily come back and put a game plan on against your defense. K-State as well. But BYU is no joke. Well, I'm worried. I'm a little worried about Quentin Earls. Wasn't his best game, but I want to see if he's going to play because he injured his shoulder in the third quarter. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, we got a lot to dive into. There's a lot of season left. There's no clear-cut winner. You could say for the Big 12, you could say that Texas is nowhere near ready to face Oklahoma again. I can't do it. I can't say they're ready to be in the Big 12 Conference Championship game. I think somebody else needs to take it. I don't know who, but somebody else needs to. Oh yeah, BYU beat Texas Tech. I forgot about that. I just remembered that BYU beat Texas Tech on Saturday. So BYU does have confidence, and BYU can play in the Big 12. So they'll be ready for Texas. All right, guys, that's it for my baseball and college football talk. But the NBA season has started. We are back. Okay? How was the offseason? The NBA offseason, to me, was good. Good enough to the point where they made some changes, and I like those changes. But there's some teams that you need to watch, that you need to learn of. And I'm going to give you those teams that you need to learn of. That I'm not ready to make a finals prediction yet. I'm not doing that yet. You'll never get that from me. You probably get it from the Lakers fan and Gabe. He's not here anymore. But if I saw him right now, I won't give him. I will tell him your Lakers are not built for the finals anymore. I will tell him that. Even though they address everything in the offseason. But they're not there yet. You still got Denver. You still got Phoenix. You still got the Grizzlies. You still got, I'm not even going to say Dallas. You still got the Warriors. I mean, come on now. You got the whole West to go through. Go through the West, and then we'll see what happens. Call me in March, and then we'll see. But nonetheless, let's talk about the NBA and the WNBA and what changes they need to make for the offseason and beyond. And it are the Aces a dynasty team? Let's talk about that next. It's Fishbowl Radio's Beyond the Game.
Look, time gone past, but all of these feelings had it. You know that life that we pictured, I still imagine. A whole city in between us and we still attached. You used to have so many layers till I peeled them back. I see the fire in your eyes, that mean we still a match. You think you're better off without me, but it isn't fact. Okay, you mad at me, I had to man up, you know, and change the whole mentality. I'm hung up on the pictures that you sent me, made a gallery. Captions be about me, but not adding me. Don't understand these type of things. I don't understand these type of games. And I know they say that everything that's easy ain't worth it, and everything that's worth it ain't gonna be easy. I made mistakes, you can't say that I repeat it. I wouldn't still be here if I didn't need you.
Foolishly in love with you, just like all the other girls. You promised I can't stop believing you want me, and you're foolishly in love, but you're not. So I take a shot. Is it love? Keep it cool on me. Don't be cruel to me, 'cause I know you've done it before. Is it love? Keep it cool on me. Give it all to me. Is it love? Is it love?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'ma spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10. I can put the ball in the end zone, put a bad bitch in the friend zone. This shit sound like an intro jet song, give me that tempo. Told Pool he a fool with the shit. Told her don't let her friends know. In the Ville and I move like a dime. Eating fettuccine at Vincenzo's. Me and my amigos got that free smoke on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm talking about pre-rolls. Dark hair bitch, and she look like she go. She do. Hometown hero, feeling myself, can't murder my ego. She heard of my deep stroke. She said, babe, does it hurt when I deep throat? It does. Certified freak hoe, hang around dust, and she learning my lingo. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. Goddamn. Spending money at the club like Sam's. Yes, ma'am. She a little freak on cam. But she don't put this on the ground. Little boys trying to diss on the ground. Hey, I can't switch on the fan. Shit's hot, hit the switch on the fan. This where my head is. I feel resentment from every direction. Even some homies be wearing expressions. I be discouraged from sharing my blessings. We used to share a connection. Now it just feels like it's wearing and stretching. I'm getting real sick of taking advice from people that never could stare at reflections. Somewhere in there is a lesson. Y'all ain't involved and it's very depressing. I'm at the club with the basketball team. Me and the Cardinals are sharing a section. Gotta cherish the present. I'm drinking water and wearing protection. Got a career and I'm very invested. Some people call it a scary obsession. I like to call it a passion. I can't be sitting relaxing. PG, we getting some traction. I'm at the venue, it's packed in. I'm digging her accent. I got a BB Simon belt on me and she tryna get it unfastened. That's my type of distraction. That's my type of she Latin. Got my own flow and I'm about to get a patent. Brand new sheets for the bed, they satin. Y'all wasn't tuned in back then. My swag, they keep jacking. I ain't doing no verse, quit asking. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that bitch like Stockton. Just joshing. I'ma spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10.
Is to see you tomorrow, and every tomorrow, maybe you let me borrow your heart. Is it too much to ask for every Sunday? And while we're at it, throwing every other day to start. I know people make promises all the time, then they turn right around and break them. And someone cut your heart open with a knife, now you're bleeding. But I could be that guy to heal it over time. And I won't stop until you believe it. 'Cause baby, you're worth it. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. 'Cause you might look around and find your dreams come true with me. Spend all your time and your money just to find out that my love was free. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. It's not a bad thing to fall in love with me. Oh, yeah. Now how about I be the last voice you hear tonight, and every other night for the rest of the nights that there are. And every morning I just wanna see you staring back at me, 'cause I know that's a good place to start. I know people make promises all the time, then they turn right around and break them. And someone cut your heart open with a knife, now you bleeding. Don't you know I could be that guy to heal it over time? And I won't stop until you believe it. 'Cause baby, you're worth it. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. 'Cause you might look around and find your such a bad thing to fall in love. No, I won't fill your mind. Broken promises and wasted time. And if you fall, you'll always land right in these arms of mine. Don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. 'Cause you might look around and find your dreams come true with me. Spend all your time and your money just to find out that my love was free. So don't act like it's a bad thing to fall in love with me. It's not a bad thing to fall in love with me. Not such a bad thing to fall in love with me.
Welcome back to Beyond the Game official radio. My name is Jamie again. And so, the WNBA season has ended. I have many thoughts about it. It wasn't successful as I wanted to see it, but it's going to be. And my only thing is, I have a thought on it in a second, but let's talk about the finals, guys. Now, the Aces are your world champions. Yes, your world champions, because the world has to know who the Aces are. The Aces beat the Liberty 70-69. My key takeaway was Asia Wilson found her spot in the second half. They couldn't stop her. 24 points and 16 rebounds. She literally put the team on her back. When you're out Stokes, when you're out Parker, when you're out Gray, Wilson said, "Give me the ball. Let me get to work." This woman is the GOAT. This woman is the greatest player ever. I love her. I love it. And she makes no apologies. She is the real MVP, guys. In my eyes. Breanna Stewart is regular season MVP. There's a difference between the regular season MVP and the finals MVP. And Asia Wilson is the MVP of the entire WNBA. Don't know why they gave it to Breanna Stewart, which is because it's beyond me, right? They gave it to Breanna Stewart because, okay, Asia Wilson had it last year, but Breanna Stewart gets another one. It wasn't by team success. It was by the voters. We got younger voters in the game, guys. And this is why I feel like personally, going back to baseball real quick, I feel like Chris Young won't get his due. I feel like they'll give it to somebody that went from 100 losses or maybe to 90 to 100 losses to get yourself in the wild card playoff. To get yourself in the wild card game, and then we'll give it to them versus give it to the person, to the manager, and to the VP that got your team to the finals. But nonetheless, WNBA talk. Becky Hammond is the best coach ever. There's not a lot of WNBA great coaches, but this one, Becky Hammond. How do you go from the NBA assistant head coaching job for 8 years as a Spurs assistant to the WNBA, which Portland and Milwaukee passed over you? They said, "You're too girly. We don't want a women's league because we have fans that are going to disrespect women as your head coach." See, the Bucks and the Portland Trailblazers at that time were worried about their fan base. They weren't worried about their results, even though Milwaukee won a championship in 21. Even though Portland hasn't done anything since the 70s. Portland traded Dame Lillard this summer. They said, we're going to start over. We're going to have Scoot Henderson. We're going to give him younger players to work with. And not one vet on the team. Do you need veteran leadership? At some point you do. That's why I told somebody, that's why I told someone on Sunday. I said, at some point, these bad teams need vet leaderships. Need vet players on their team. At some point. You can't keep them on the street. You can't say, you know what, let's go play in China or Taiwan for a year or two and say, you know what, we're ready for the NBA. You need a veteran, not only to control the locker room, but to play basketball. That's not what they're there for. They're not there to help you. They're not there to give you encouragement to grow. If they were there to do that, then you might as well just hang it up and become an assistant coach. These players are there to play basketball at all costs. You mimic their how they live by their by looking by visualization. You just don't have somebody come up to you and say, "Oh well," like a Carmelo Anthony or that's probably a bad example, but let's see, a quality veteran, maybe Andre Iguodala who just recently retired, and sit on the bench and tell you these things and work on Kuminga and work on Moses Moody versus Udonis Haslem, work on Jimmy Butler, work on Tyler Hero, work on Duncan Robinson, all those guys. That veteran leadership. Well, maybe their role is reduced, or maybe their role is like just stay on the bench and coach our players, or maybe they just want to play ball. In this case, LeBron wants to play ball. LeBron says, I'm going to teach you the game by telling you where the place to go while I'm on the court. Every veteran has their different style of leading. LeBron says, I'm going to show you how to lead. Udonis, no disrespect to him, and Andre Iguodala, they're going to sit by your side and tell you how to lead. Maybe players can do it that way, maybe they don't. In this case, back to my Becky Hammond stuff. She will never get another NBA job or offered an NBA job unless she gets tired of winning all these championships. Then maybe she'll go elsewhere. But I don't think she's going elsewhere anytime soon. Then you got Alicia Clark. Alicia Clark is a real defensive player of the game. You mean to tell me that Breanna Stewart shot 3 for 17? MVPs don't shoot 3 for 17 in the finals game. I'm sorry. They got to be great. They got to be great. They got to shoot better than that. And y'all have to live, and Liberty fans have to live with that for the rest of the offseason, which is 8 months long. But I didn't. And also another thing is, I didn't mention Stewart when I did my prognosis of these games. I didn't mention Stewart's name in it because I feel like she was a decoy. I feel like she's not the real MVP. Real MVP says, "Give me the ball, let me get to work." Stewart said, "Give me the ball, let me shoot erratic jump shots. Let me run." She didn't say, "Give me the ball and let me get to work." Asia said that, and that's why she's the real MVP. We don't have real MVPs in the league. She's one of them. Breanna Stewart is not. She's not the MVP. You don't have your team give you the ball in the second half. Well, the entire game for that matter, and you shoot questionable jump shots. You're 3 for 13, girl. Attack the rim. Get to the basket. Change your mindset of the game. She's not the real MVP. I'm sorry. Maybe regular season, yeah. Because the regular season, no one's defending you. They're not defending you in a playoff game. Asia Wilson was heavily guarded in this playoff game and found a way to get 24 points and 16 rebounds against JJ and Stephanie Dolson. Minus Stephanie Dolson against JJ, Jacquel Jones. And Jacquel Jones is not the worst defender. She's not the worst defender. It's just that when the Liberty, when someone wants to get to work, like, you got to crowd the paint. Luckily for Dallas did it with physicality. You don't have two athletic bigs, which Dallas does. Dallas has athletic. They mix it up with Akure, I'm pronouncing her name, Kalani Brown, and Terry McCowan. Both of those players are physical. Our career is athletic. She can defend anybody. You ask her to defend Asia Wilson, she tried her best, but she's not ready for that moment yet. But Brown and McCown are. They're both quality physical players. In this case, JJ allowed her to get to her spot. That's why the Aces are champs. Even though Vandersloot, I said this last week, I said Vandersloot needs 15 attempts. She got 16, which I'm happy about. And Nescu needs to change her game in the offseason. Brianna Stewart needs to say, you know what, give me the freaking ball and let me get to work. Your game is mid-post, Brianna Stewart. You can get there. No one was defending you in this playoffs. No one was defending you. You only get hot when you want to get hot. Your game envisions me of Dirk. Reminds me of Dirk. And Dirk said, when I get hot, when I start hitting my 15-foot jump shots, I will get hot. Give me the ball. Now, are they a dynasty? I would say yes. Because I don't see any other team that's going to come on the rise. Maybe the Liberty again. They got to take this loss and learn from it. Like Kelsey Plum says, super teams are not built overnight. Super teams are not built overnight. It takes years and years and years to know each other. And then, eventually players make their moves. Like, if they keep the same team, right, I'm pretty sure, and add maybe one or two pieces, then I will say personally, I will say that they're built for that. I will say things change next season. But I'm not gonna say it next season because there's other teams on the rise that are coming. You got the Atlanta Dream, you got the Connecticut Sun. They're coming. I think the Atlanta Dream are more equipped than the Connecticut Sun. Even though you have Alyssa Thomas, even though you have Dewana Bonner, I think if you add a little bit more to depth on your roster, that proves dividends, then I think that the Sun could be there. But I envision the Dream better than the Sun. Not only their coach, their players are a little bit better. And their depth is all around. They can beat you in any other way. It's just that they can't finish. You're trying to find an idea of your identity of your team. That's the problem that the Dream had. The Dream are right there. But the Sun, they're close. But they got to add more players. And make sure that everyone's locked in, everyone's on the same page. That's the problem with the Sun. But the Dream, I have no problem with them. But let's talk about the offseason for the Aces. Not for the Aces, but for the whole entire offseason for the WNBA. and how we can make this, how we can make this change in the offseason. So the offseason is 8 months long. So it ended October the 18th was the last game. So now we're gonna spend now to April watching college basketball, women's college basketball, and see who the top players in the WNBA, who are top players not only for college basketball, but for the WNBA draft and beyond. Now, I said this when October started. I said I'm going to post my expertise on these teams, not these WNBA teams, but these women college basketball teams. They're legit. I'm going to give you a scouting report of who I see as a potential WNBA player. So, we got 8 months to figure that out. In the meantime, we got some players playing overseas. So, I don't know where to find that channel. I'm going to try to do my best to get involved in that WNBA, not the WNBA, but the women's basketball overseas. I'm trying to get that involved. But before I talk about other things, let's hear from Kelsey Plum. Now, Kelsey Plum has made some quotes in the last few days. This one is one of them. Let's play that clip, please.
A two-time WNBA All-Star. Crushed it this season.
Las Vegas. I love y'all so much, man. You guys have really become part of our family. And we're so grateful because when we go out and play, it's bigger than us. It's all of us. I want to thank God. This year has been a tough year for me. I don't know if you know, but my husband's across the country. And I'm just so grateful for this group because we're a family and we got through it together. I don't have much to say. I just know that we're just going to keep coming back and everyone hates it. Let's go, baby.
So, anyways, that was from Kelsey. That was Kelsey Plum. We're going to hear more of her in the offseason. But we're going to hear more and more from this player, the MVP, A'ja Wilson. Let's play one of two of her clips, please.
Okay, so period. Usher, I saw you got your little National Usher Day.
Adele.
Thank you so much for that. But we lit.
40?
We lit. The parade is Monday night. Monday? Which means you got all the time. I know last year I said 4 shots. But this year we going 8. Oh! So get ready. Children, please.
And we're going to try to clean up our language and make it more family friendly.
Yes, children, we're going to do better. But drink your ginger ale, have fun, listen to your parents, go to bed on time, go to school, get good grades. Old people, not old people, but people that aren't children, drink responsibly, but we about to turn up right here.
Call Uber.
We gotta get back-to-back champs. You already know what it is, Ace.
When are we going to have an A'ja Wilson day? When is her day? On her birthday? Or you gave Usher the keys. You gave Adele her residency. Actually, you gave Usher his residency as well. So when does A'ja Wilson in the town of Las Vegas get her day? I'm pretty sure her day's coming. Her day's coming. But let's play a clip. Let's play the clip that she dominated the Liberty in, please.
Here's George. There is a touch for Wilson. Wilson and at Jones and able to finish. Assertive take from the two-time MVP.
One of the things that Vegas loses without Chelsea Gray, she is a terrific rebounder from the guard position.
Wilson spinning, taking, and dropping it home. Without the steady hand of Chelsea Gray, their all-world point guard. Oh, what a look, and what a rejection. Wilson denies Ionescu. Vandersloot looking for some space into the paint. Dangerous pass taken away. 5th turnover for New York. And the 4th for Vandersloot. Wilson barrels in, lays it home, plus the foul. Here's Wilson, sees the lane and lays it in. A'ja Wilson, so tough. 9 points, 7 rebounds in his first half. It's a 1-point game. As Vandersloot checks out, Johannes in for New York. Here's Wilson. To the elbow she goes, and that is cash. Ionescu blows the layup. There's been a couple of those for New York in the third. Clark didn't take. Wilson once again matched up on Johannes, and that is easy prey for A'ja Wilson.
Get any easy looks throughout the course of these finals.
Done a nice job on Stewart throughout the season in general. Wilson from 13, smooth.
Most confident she's looked in the entire playoffs.
5-time All-Star playing like it. Wilson back to work, spinning and finishing. My goodness, A'ja Wilson. Young. 5 to shoot, into Wilson, bodying inside. A'ja Wilson is unstoppable. Wilson jitters inside and finishes. A'ja Wilson showing the right hand. Here's Plum, guarded by Vandersloot. Around the screen, back to Wilson. 7 to shoot. Wilson, 4 to shoot, fading and hitting. Timeout, New York.
Wow. Just imagine having that in the offseason. Now let's play another clip from them crashing the press conference, please.
A 2-time WNBA All-Star crushed it this season. And I'm here to tell you, ain't nobody in the WNBA.
Not a lot of... Yeah, we just came. Yeah. Wait, y'all, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Come on, I gotta answer this question. Shut it down. I gotta answer the question. 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 Chill.
It's a great question.
It is a great question.
Let us answer.
This is what it's all about. Like, to have your name sketched in history right now with other teams, like, we never gave up. And this is a moment that we need to celebrate. This is a moment that not a lot of people get a chance to do it. And for us to do it and be shorthanded, it's truly amazing. It just makes the win that much more, so that much better. So at the end of the day, it's huge. Like AC said, it's hard getting back to the finals, but to win it again, it's 10 times harder. And I'm grateful. I'm going to go to war with these wounded warriors every day. Crutches, boot, and scooter. I don't care. I'm going to war with this.
Just imagine hearing all that in the offseason, because that was iconic. But now, Tibbetts. Nate Tibbetts is the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury. I don't know why that is. Like, he has no experience at all. And I did something on Facebook on Sunday night. People were mixed about it. I gave my own opinions about the head coach. First of all, there's no diversity in the game. There's no women's head coach in the WNBA. Well, there is, but at the same time, we're trying to encourage women's coaches in the women to coach these players in the WNBA. We want more women in the WNBA because it's a women's league. We don't need a Nate Tibbetts. We have never heard of him. We've seen him in clips and bits. Just look at the Orlando Magic. Look how their organizations ran. They can't even get Pablo Becerra right. Heck, for Jalen Suggs. Who is their all-star on their team? You have 2 all-stars on the Phoenix Mercury right now. Possibly 3. Okay? You're telling us, Phoenix Mercury fans. I'm not a Phoenix Mercury fan. But I will say this. That tweet that was shown to me the other day. Oh my gosh. He said he needs women players to help him coach the team. Like, what the why you just got the job. The owner and the GM believed in you. See, this is bullshit. This is why the players didn't have no say in who's going to be their head coach. They had no say at all. They didn't even know. They said, hey, they went to the auditor roster, Brianna Gardner. Hey, we got this random guy who's your head coach. That's like saying, I can't find an analogy for it, but you need the players to help you coach. So, Nate, wouldn't it be better just to say, I don't want the job? Maybe it would be better just to give it to Nikki Blue. Nikki Blue connected with the players. She won 7 games. She won more games than Vanessa Nygaard has ever done. Vanessa Nygaard has done nothing. Nikki Blue kept the distractions away. She said, forget Skylar Dickens. We're worried about the team itself. Who cares about her? If she wants to play, then she'll be on the phone to play for the team. Nikki Blue kept it out of the court. We're focused. We could be the worst team in the league, but we still got a season to play. Oh, that's good. I like that. Y'all should save that. I'm coming with this quote, man. It's just a terrible hire, guys. So I want the WNBA to really, really, if these teams are going to go ahead and fire these coaches, right? I really want you all to take a deep dive into who is coaching your team. Who has the most experience? What are they doing differently in their organization? I could have named off 5 coaches that are better fit for the Mercury. Brianna January, who is the assistant in Connecticut. I would have also said Courtney Paris. She may run she's never been a head coach, but she can run the same philosophies. You got veterans and a younger player on it. You don't even have veterans on your team. You don't even have young players on the team. You don't have rookies. You don't have second-year players on the team. You have vets that want to win a championship. Let's see. Number 3, I would have said Natalie Nasaka. Number 4, I would have said Tyler. I can't remember his last name. The assistant man's coach. I would have said him. Number 5, I would have said. She shouldn't be coaching, but I would have said Delisha Milton. Well, she should be coaching, but she wants to coach young players. I would have put Dawn Staley on there, but then again, Dawn Staley does not want to coach WNBA players. She wants to continue to grow college players. This is why she'll never leave South Carolina. So to me, it's all about the experience factor, and it's definitely all about who can relate to the players. I would have said, if somebody was retiring, right, a former WNBA player coaching on the side, right, college or just doing random things, I would have pulled them out of retirement and said, hey, would you like to coach a team? That's how you grow the game. If you add more former WNBA players, that's how you groom the game. Why do you think Lisa Leslie is coaching the men's team in Summer League basketball? Why do you think Cynthia Cooper is nowhere to be found? Why do they have to force Cheryl Swoops out of retirement to be invested in women's basketball? Because 10 years ago, she wasn't. She wasn't invested in it. But yet, as of recently, they pulled her out and said, hey, here's our vision for the WNBA. Can you invest in it? She has to say yes, right? Because it's going to work at the end of the day. So we're trying to get former players. We got Candace Parker, who does a great job on TNT. We got her saying, I don't want anything to do with WNBA. I already know what it is. I already know what my retirement is going to be. I don't want to be in it. But we're trying to keep her. We're trying to keep former players. If you want your brand to grow. If you're saying we're growing for the next 27 years, Dion has done it in 1 year. In 1 year. Then you got to bring more women in. You got to add more teams, guys. You got to add more teams. You add one team in 2025. One team. Let me ask you a question. Who's going to be your cornerstone of the franchise in 2025? When you have that team, that cornerstone of the franchise, who's that one player that's going to be that cornerstone? And you have 50 states. Every state should have a WNBA team on it. In it. Not add another California team. Ever telling themselves the truth. You see how ESPN tonight through the rest of the season, ESPN and TNT are going to have games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. ESPN is going to have games on Wednesdays and Fridays. You see how they promoted the NBA versus the WNBA? The promotion is garbage on the WNBA side. They need to find a way to put more games on TV. They did their best every Friday night, but it's not enough because there's not enough visibility. Amazon Prime, they do it once a week. I'm like, you can't do stuff once a week. The NBA is on every single day. More coverage. They run coverages from October to July almost. To the point where they rather show the Summer League than a WNBA game. Because they know that haters of the WNBA are going to come out of the woodworks and say, you know what? We hate the WNBA. We want something else. The ESPNs, all those channels, all the words, they rather show that. They're going to focus on the negative noise versus the positive noise. The positive noise says, hey, put the WNBA on every single day. I want that. If you want true growth in the program. But then again, if y'all want to stick to the random, every once in a while, ESPN is going to show this game, then more power to you. There's going to be a fight for number one, and it's not even Angel Reese. I just saw something the other day that Angel Reese may go. She is in the top 10, but it's like further down the top 10. If Angel Reese were to have a great LSU season, she's got to average a double-double. You got the perfect coach to do it for you. It's up to you to take advantage of that, of your opportunities. It's up to you. Now, I will also say to Caitlin Clark, this is no clear cut. You have nothing to do in Iowa. There is nothing. I've never been to Iowa, so if there was something to do in Iowa, you let me know. But Caitlin Clark, you have nothing to prove. You get triple doubles every single game. You're averaging 20 points a game easily. What else do you have to prove? You came in. You almost won a championship So now it's going to be harder to come back. You don't have the same complement of players from last season. You got a brand new team. So with that being said, Caitlin, I know the decision is going to be tough, but what more do you have to prove? All right, so I want to get to my NBA stuff, but I'm going to try to speed through it. Well, actually, let me do my Texas teams, and then I'll post what I want to post. I'll post the other stuff on the other side. But I will get my top 10 teams that I'm looking forward to. This is my expectations. So let's start with your Mavericks. So Bleacher Report and CBS, they had the Mavericks at 44 wins. I had them at 44 wins as well. Again, who needs to sacrifice more? Kyrie or Luka? Again, sacrifice. Kyrie or Luka? Nobody sacrificed between those two players last year. It was always a game-by-game stretch. It was Kyrie's time, and then you got Luka's time. Kyrie's week, Luka's week, and then out of the blue you may get a Josh Green week. Or out of the blue you may get a Grant Williams week. Out of the blue you may get a Tim Hardaway Jr. week. Maybe get Seth Curry. You maybe get Maxi Kleber. Maybe you get who else am I forgetting? You might get a Jaden Hardy week. Those type of weeks. But again, those players have to sacrifice. Look, we know Luka's not going to be healthy. We know Kyrie's going to ball out. But at the same time, sacrifice. Maybe the Mavericks are going to win this year. Maybe they're not. But in this city, they're the last to make improvements. They're the last of it. Because they're not ready to win a championship. So I mentioned this when I was doing my head coach's things in I think it was in May. No, it was in July. Sorry. I said I put down my top 10 coaches that we need a testament of their coaching. Jason Kidd needs to survive this season. This is a season where Jason Kidd needs to survive at best. Because again, if you're in the position of if you're fighting for a play-in, or better yet, fighting for the play or completely out of the postseason, which that could happen, then your job's then you're out. You're out of the job. Nico and Mark Cuban or whoever is talking, whoever makes those decisions, have to make a decision on Jason Kidd so that they don't lose Luka. So this season it's going to be either Luka or Jason Kidd. That needs to be gone. So, for me, I had them at 44 wins. I'm going to say 44 and 38. And then they'll be in the playing game, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see where they built. We'll see what their team is from there, and we'll definitely talk about it throughout the whole entire season. The Spurs. Now, how do you use Victor? Okay, and then Zach Collins. Can Zach Collins be that big man that we're missing? Because everybody's putting pressure on Victor to perform. Yes, that's true. You can put pressure on the number one pick to perform, but he's going to have games that he's not going to play well. We gotta stop kidding ourselves, guys. We gotta say, you know what? Victor is going to have those moments where he's going to be a rookie. We treat him as a 10-year vet. He's a rookie. He's never been in the U.S. before. You got to give him time to groom his game. So how I utilize Victor, I feel like he's going to get at least starting off at least 30 minutes a game starting off. Because I don't think he can play past 30 minutes right now. And if we put pressure on him, he's going to crash in 3 to 4 years. And we don't need players crashing like that in 3 to 4 years. And then everybody will be calling for another draft pick. And then we'll start comparing Tim Duncan to Dave Robinson. We'll start bringing up old shit in the past. versus the present. This team's our present. They didn't provide enough help for Victor. And then I expect Devin Vassell, the one player that I see on this roster, stepping up. I expect him to step up this season. I know injuries played a factor, but I expect him to step up this year. But the Spurs need to start off strong defensively, because I think their defense will keep them in games. Now, the defense that I saw last year won't keep them in games. But this season, if they play decent enough defense, then we'll see. We just gotta see what happens. But Bleacher and Sportsline that I saw, shout out to those guys. I saw them at 28.5. I'm gonna say 31 because it's still a rebuilding year. We're still transitioning. We're still gonna have good moments. We're gonna have a lot of bad moments. But I just want to be honest and say that as a Spurs fan, I hate to accept bad moments, but I have to accept bad moments. I'm sorry. I hate it. I am still going to chill for the Spurs, though. I want them to do well. If they surprise me, then yes. Then yes. If they surprise me was 39 wins, then the rebuild's over. But if they surprise, but there's no surprise here. 31 wins at best for me. That I will say. Write this down real quick. 31-51. All right, so that's a 9-win improvement from last year, guys. We went 22-60. So that's 9-win improvement. So we're gonna be fine. We'll draft in the top 5 again, and we'll see who we can get out of that draft to help Victor out. Houston, they have them at 31.5. I will say 30. For me, personally, 30. What approach will Ime take? Players have to show growth. So Ime, they got to show growth. Ime has to show growth, and the players have to show growth as well. They got rid of Kevin Porter Jr., the toxic player. Very toxic. His game is toxic. He's toxic. They added Jeff Green. Jeff Green was the best thing running. They added Dylan Brooks. They added Fred VanVleet. So now they say to themselves, we got a good team to compete. Wait a minute, hold on, pump the brakes, because you still got rookies on your team. Well, actually, young players on your team. Then they added, look who they added. They added Dylan Brooks, like I said. They added Victor Oladipo, and they added Fred VanVleet, and they added Aaron Holiday. Guys that are vets that have been around the block before. So the future is bright. You keep them around together in Houston, the future is bright. Look at the Astros. Look at the Texans now. I can honestly say the Texans are better than the Dallas Cowboys. I can't believe I said that. And on an organization stake, the Texans are better equipped than the Cowboys. They may make the playoffs this season. I'm talking about the Houston Texans. With a rookie quarterback. But yet we're going to continue to have problems with our quarterback. So. But their weakness is poor shooting and immaturity. Now, you got rid of Kevin Porter. Okay? You got rid of Kevin Porter for a number of reasons. You don't want that on your team anymore. Now you have Dylan Brooks. Now, I don't want the same Dylan Brooks that came from Memphis, that the owners blamed for their recent downfall. Dylan Brooks is a decent player. He left that franchise because the organization failed to believe. They rather believe in a gun guy and John Morant versus Dylan Brooks. This is why he left. They believed in that garbage versus the decent guy. I'm not calling John Morant garbage. I'm just saying his situation is. his situation that he himself put himself in, and eventually has to take accountability. You can't take accountability by hanging around with the same amount of guys. Eventually you have to grow up a little bit and be that pro that everyone else expected you to be. So, out of the Texas teams that I say, the Mavs may have a chance this year. They're not going to win 50 games. They'll probably go at best a 6-game losing streak. They'll play a stretch of games where they'll probably supposed to win or may lose or lose random games at best. But the Mavs do have a chance. It's not a playoff chance, but they do have a chance to make the play-in game. I'll say that. But I will say this as my top 10 before we leave. So in the West, I have, and I'll post the other stuff on my group page and Facebook and all that stuff, and y'all can go from there. So in the West, I have the Nuggets, I have the Suns, I have the Lakers, I have the Warriors, I have the Grizzlies, I have the Clippers, I have the Kings, I have the Pelicans, but the Pelicans could move up to 6. Full on healthy Zion, they move up to 6. The Mavericks, they must stay consistent. I had them at 9. And then number 10, the Thunder. Now the Thunder, they just got to play a little bit of defense and have that team chemistry. They can move up as well in the top 6. So those are the two teams, the Pelicans and the Thunder, that could shock the world and can move up. Can't you believe that? They can move up in the top 6. Now, let me get to my East stuff. My East top 10. The Celtics, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Cavs, Miami, Brooklyn, New York Knicks, the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Pacers. Now, I envision the Bucks to be creeping up number 1 because their season is going to be a journey. Their season, Giannis will miss games. Chris Middleton will miss a bunch of games. Let's make it hands down. This is why they got Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard is durable. He's going to get him out of the games in which Giannis and Chris Middleton would miss games. Dame Lillard will keep them in games. Bobby Portis, you can't forget about him. Can't forget about Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez will do his thing on the defense end. Then you got his brother Robin Lopez, which that's no joke as well. He's been on bad teams. He knows what it's like. So, with that being said, I think, honestly, the Bucks' weaknesses is Chris Middleton playing games. I just think if he shows the right amount of consistency, I do think the Bucks will be the number 1 team. The Celtics will be number 2. But then again, the Celtics' weaknesses is that the Celtics don't have a weakness. The Celtics don't have a weakness, guys. It's just that they beat themselves, and maybe they didn't lose much of Marcus. They didn't lose Marcus Smart. But they replaced him with Drew Holiday. So that's a good enough fit. I mean, Drew Holiday can shoot. Marcus Smart re-image his shooting, but they took a risk. It was either Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart, and they kept Jaylen Brown versus Marcus Smart. But it's no disrespect. Again, they had to do what they had to do at best. All right, guys. So I'll post the rest of this on my social media plays. But next week, again, the Cowboys are here. The reason why we didn't talk about the Cowboys this week was they didn't play a game, which it kept my emotions down a little bit. But we're going to talk about them next week against the Rams. We're going to talk about North Texas versus Memphis, and then we got a bunch of other basketball stuff we're going to dive into. All right, guys, let's talk about that next week and a bunch of other stuff. It's Fishbowl's Raiders Beyond the Game, and I will see y'all next week.
Hey world, this is Jamie, host of the Jamieegenti Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamieegenti Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.